Welcome to Ushuaia, the bottom of the world. We've been here for a couple of days, just bunkering down, waiting for a good weather day because it has been absolutely blowing its titties off and raining and snowing basically the last 4 days, and now we have sunshine. So we're just doing a little coastal walk. You can see the town of Ushuaia is behind me. We are walking up and down this coast, just spotting seals and whales and little penguins, the most amazing wildlife. And it's all free, and I think that's one of the cool things about this town is you can do so many cool things for free. We'll show you around. Hopefully when you come down here you can get inspired.
So we can definitely say we experienced the real autumn in Patagonia. The color of the trees are unreal, it's nothing we've seen before, and this is what we were dreaming about. Look at that, it's so dreamy. Hike wasn't that special, but the trees were amazing. Let's go home and make pizza.
Pizza. The next day we saw the weather window was about to close and reports of a massive cold snap coming in. We took that advantage and hiked to the Esmeralda lake. So I think we have reached our tipping point from where we want to get out of this southern Patagonian region, because first of all, that was a cold night. It was freezing. I left my shoes accidentally outside and now they are frozen. It's freezing. It's time to get out of here. It's time to leave Ushuaia now. We've been here over a week and we've loved every minute on it. It is starting to get really cold. Before we go, we got some stickers made. There's a kind of a tradition here, looks like it in South America, where everyone's got stickers and you basically just plaster them wherever you feel like it. So this is the entrance to Ushuaia and everyone's kind of plastered their stickers. You kind of come and you see who else you can notice along the way. You've met a lot of people and they have their own stickers, so it's kind of cool to see.
It's on.
It's on.
Okay,
our first sticker. Time to get out of here. After a day and a half of driving, we arrived in Montleon National Park, where apparently there is a high chance of seeing pumas. We have arrived to one of the awesome free spots where you can see a penguin colony in Argentina on the coast. And there are thousands of penguins and they are so cute and you can hear them from a mile away. This whole beach is just penguins. And they're all just nesting in the hillside here. So the crazy thing about walking up into this penguin colony is before you get here, it is like a literal penguin graveyard. I'm thinking that the penguins decide that when they've, end of life, they come to the back of the colony to die. You would have thought they would just die at sea, but there's just thousands of penguin carcasses everywhere scattered behind the dunes. It is kind of strange. I don't know what to think of it, but I suppose that's nature. To make matters even worse for these little guys, apart from their typical diet of guanacos, which there are plenty in this park, this is the only place in the world where pumas will actually hunt penguins, which seems like a little bit of an unfair fight. So this is one of those absolute special places where van life really pays dividends. We are parked up right on the edge of like a river or an inlet to the ocean, and there are just penguins coming in from their little fishing ventures, and they're just swimming all the way past us. We've had a pretty good day. We haven't had any major incidents. We've had showers. We just watched the sunset go down, and I think we're gonna have a really good day tomorrow driving on this really cool scenic road. So let's show you around.
We just arrived to a sea lion colony that's just next to the highway, and it's so epic. They're massive males who are just like sleeping and coughing and just being grumpy and lying on other like females and just kind of like pushing kids around, like being really annoyed at them because they're like playful. And they're like babies who are like running into the water and swimming around. It's like so cool to watch.
So what's really neat about this place is like, obviously we parked the van right here and the sea lions are right there, and we could just sit here all day. I just had a coffee, watch the sea lions play. It's really, really cool. And what's even better is we're not paying for this, where in a lot of the towns further south you actually have to go on a boat and pay nearly $200 to go see sea lions, where they're just hanging out on the shores here. And you get to see them for free, which is even better. So we've decided to actually sleep here for the night and have dinner while we watch the sea lions snort and scoff and splatter around. It's pretty special. Bon appetit. Although the sea lions are really cool to watch, I would 100% not advise trying to camp next to them, because all night all we could hear was them snorting and coughing and splattering, and
I'm pretty sure farting too.
Yeah, it just sounds like all sorts of horrible noises coming from their bodies. And the sun has just risen and we did not sleep very well last night because these guys have just kept us awake the whole night.
Also, we could find only one pair of earplugs, so it was one earplug per person, and we had to kind of just like deal with it.
So the last 24 hours have been a bit of an interesting one. We tried to achieve a lot of chores and we basically failed in all of them. We need to get our laundry done. We couldn't get it done same day, so we had to sleep in our sleeping bags last night to clean our sheets.
Hooray!
Fresh washing. Is that all this for like $5? Except we're in this town for 24 hours now, which is 23 hours too long because it's a bit of a shithole. We're having a major problem with trying to refill our Chilean gas bottle here in Argentina. Something we didn't know about when you are traveling throughout all these South American countries, that all the gas bottle fittings are different. Chilean, the worst out of all of them, has a very unique gas bottle connection where it clips on top, and pretty much everywhere we've been going is saying they cannot refill it, which is a problem. Luckily, we have been using our camping stove as a backup, but they're not really going to sustain us for much longer because first of all they don't hold much gas, and second of all we can't really cook big meals with them. So we are going to try again today. It might take 3 or 4 days until we get to a bigger town, which is still 8 to 10 hours away, where we think there might be a place we can fill the gas bottle up. We are now at our 4th gas filler. It has become quite the challenge. Hopefully we can get it filled here. I just waited for him to open up. But if he can't, I'm going to ask him maybe he can change the regulator to like an Argentinian regulator. So that is another miss. They do not fill Chilean gas bottles here, which is annoying because we just waited 2 hours for these guys to open up. I did ask him if they could change the valve, and he was like, no, it's not possible. So I don't know if that's an illegal thing or whatnot, but That's a bummer. So we got back into the van and drove another 12 hours and 800 kilometers north to a town of Bariloche in search of someone to fill our gas bottle. We got told there was someone who could fill a Chilean gas bottle here in Bariloche, but when we finally got to the shop, there is a sign on the door saying closed indefinitely. Now we don't know what we're going to do. Good morning from a very beautiful Bariloche, which is one of the nicer towns in Argentina, but we are very worried actually because this town actually has a reputation for overlanders getting broken into and robbed on the street front, which is a little bit concerning for us. We've been told, and what we've read in this town, there is a gang that targets overlanders in vans, and they do it in broad daylight in the middle of the day in some of the busiest streets in this town, which kind of really scares you because it means they don't really have any boundaries. You're not really safe anywhere.
Yeah.
We use an app called iOverlander, which is like a user-based entry app which anyone can put details for, you know, tourist attractions and also warnings for thefts. This city has the most we've seen, and it is one of the most beautiful cities, which is quite sad, but that's just how it is, and it's really good to be aware of these things. So it's really uncommon what we're doing. We both got our backpacks completely full of all our valuables, so we're taking our passports, our cameras, our laptops, everything with us. So we parked our van, the place we stepped last night, which was kind of on the other side of the lake. There's a whole bunch of other overlanders that park there overnight, and it seems like there's always someone there out of the way as well of the city, which makes it feel a little bit safer. So I've just spoken to a couple of the other guys hanging around there and, you know, seeing if they were going to be there all day, which is a little bit reassuring. So let's just hope we don't get robbed today. So in a case of pure coincidence, they are having a chocolate festival, which is pretty cool because we love chocolate. And we were just in the main square and they just made the world's biggest chocolate bar, 210 meters. They just split the whole street down the middle in two and had about 1,000 chefs making this big ass chocolate bar, which they then just handed out to everyone in the streets. So the whole of the city now is just absolutely hyped up on chocolate. I don't think any kid is going to get to sleep tonight because they were handing out like full handfuls of chocolate. Most people were getting like a half a kilo of chocolate. It was crazy. We've been in Bariloche now for about 5 or 6 days. We both got sick with a cold the last couple of days. I've just started to recover. Vendi is still not feeling so good. So she's just binging Netflix for the afternoon. One of the reasons why we're actually staying in Bariloche so long is because we're waiting for something we very desperately need from Chile. Another traveler is coming over from Chile to bring us this part, and it means so we can actually fill your gas bottle up. We ran out about 2 weeks ago, but hopefully it gets sorted soon because it's really a drag cooking on that little thing when you're used to like a 2-burner stove. Good morning. It is starting to get really cold here in Bariloche, and while we decide to wait for the other travellers to come bring us the gas part, I think the best thing for us is to get into an Airbnb for a couple of days. Vendi is still feeling quite sick. She's got a cold and a fever, so we're going to go into an Airbnb and have a bit more of a rest for a couple of days, stay a bit warmer, because we can't really heat up our hot water bottles and cook and heat as much stuff up as we would like normally because we just don't have the gas bottle. I think that's going to be much needed rest and relaxation for a couple of days until we get this part. Luckily we managed to find a really nice girl on Facebook who is putting her house up for rent, and we got 2 nights here, which is going to be an absolute miracle worker because it's a really nice little cute cottage in the middle of the woods with all the mountain views. Exactly what we need to just recharge, have hot showers, have a warm bed with a heater and a full kitchen so we can kind of just relax for a couple of days, get better, make ourselves at home and really just recharge our batteries. So we finally got our gas part that we've been waiting for like 3 weeks now so we can fill our Chilean gas bottle. These guys have saved our ass. We cannot thank them enough. They drove all the way from Chile to Bariloche with this part for us. So So thank you guys.
No worries.
Thank you
Alright,
so
you
much.
can
We'll
cook
see you
again.
on the road.
Make some boiling water
Yeah.
again. Exactly.
All right, have a good trip, guys.
Cheers,
See
myself.
ya.
See ya.
That was really, really helpful. Like, can't thank those guys enough. Because we're staying at this house, we're like, guys, just take the shower. Any overlander knows if you get offered a hot shower, you're gonna take it. You're like, oh my God, we were gonna ask, but we thought, you know, it's a little bit not okay to ask. Charge all your equipment, go for it. All right, I really hope today is gonna be the day that we're gonna be able to fill this gas bottle up. So I'm back at one of the places I came to last week with the adapter now. I'm going to see if we can fill the gas bottle up. Because now that we have this high pressure adapter that fits on these Chilean bottles, let's see how we go. At last, these guys said they will fill it up, but I got to come back at 4 o'clock because the whole town has actually run out of gas. I went to another place, they had the same issue. They're waiting for the gas truck to come. So we're going to come back at 4 and hopefully we're going to have a full tank of propane. Oh my God. We finally got it filled, yes! So now, in a very rare occurrence, we've got the camper van trifecta. We've got a full tank of diesel, I just filled up, a full tank of water, I just filled up as well, and we got a full tank of propanes. But now we're gonna be able to cook, and I'm never gonna be taking propane for granted ever again. Follow us next time for where we find a literal Jurassic Park and have the worst week of breakdowns we've ever had.
We are getting punished all the time.
If you want to see what we're up to on a daily basis, remember to follow us on Instagram, salty_vanventures. See you there.